Well, this is our third year of Bring It Back. We started with 1 year funding in 2013, and then we called the project Bring It Back because the whole idea was to engage the local older people with their memories, to get them together, to experience different art form as a way to improve their well-being and their connections in the community. And then after this 1 year, we got 2 more years funding, and we are just at the end of this 3 years project. And it's sad that we finishing it, but at the same time we are very pleased with the work we've done. I guess after 3 years we have created very strong connections with different care homes, with different art center, community center locally, and you create a very concise and strong group of old people who meet regularly, who have been a group who has developed in a way that they can that they've been going to different activities locally. They have been engaging with all the projects in all the projects run by us, See Through as well, which is amazing. We're doing a puppet project at the moment, and some of the participants that became we started very shy and very kind of reticent to engage in all the projects are now doing our puppet project and doing all the activities locally. So you can see the development of these older people throughout these 3 years.
Yeah, Julia brought her group along. I didn't really have much idea what they were going to do. I knew there was going to be some film clips, some music, but I just let Julia organise the whole thing really, and it's turned out a fantastic morning and early afternoon. It was just tremendous. The musicians were great, the clips were great, everyone had a fantastic time, and we'd definitely have them back again. It was wonderful. All my tenants really enjoyed it.
I first came across Julia and her group when they were doing their final performance in the first year. They were bringing their end of term work, shall we say, to the local community in Queens Crescent. And a couple of my tenants were involved in it in one way or another, one of which came over and said it was really good fun and we need to get involved with this. And it really brought people out of their shells. I mean, for some of the people, they see their carers and they see staff, but they don't really have a lot of interaction with other tenants. And in coming down to that, Julia's so infectious with it all. She seems to have this way of bringing them out of their shells. And even our most shyest and quietest people, as soon as they see them, it's like, oh, great, yes. And it's just a joy to see the difference. I mean, I get asked 2 or 3 times a week, when are the girls coming? Trying to work out what day that they're coming. And they just seem to look forward to it so much.
Well, it's lots of groups together because they've been singing and grouping and in a number of buildings, as you imagine, the building I live in, which is a sheltered house in Ashdown Crescent, and then they in the community centre as well, and other places, and it's a much smaller event. And I enjoyed down there very much because they showed Henry. Did you remember showing Henry when we were doing it? We didn't do the Irish song, yes, but Henri, I used to call him, and that's quite sad really because he lived with us and then he fell, and he's now to go into care home. Right. But there was different things, and he loved it. It made his day when we used to sing Molly Malone.
I can think of probably several of them. The initial one that sticks out, and even to this day, is when Henry had started to come, the gentleman we saw in the residential care home afterwards. When he came down, and at first it was like, this is rubbish, I'm not going to be doing this. And then just finding that one song, obviously Molly Malone with him, it brought him so much into the present. Because you'd probably get a couple of mumbled words and I'm fine, all right, how you doing? And that was it. But after picking Molly Malone for his choice of song and everyone joining in, he'd come in then and he'd start talking to me about his younger days, about being at home in Ireland and about the troubles that he experienced while he was there, and the music scene that was on there, and you could just see him. It had brought him right back into being part of something. We went to visit again just at Christmas time with him when we did the singing, which is the same opportunity we were talking about with the lady. At that point, they didn't even realise he spoke, because he had said nothing to them in all the time he'd been there. And by talking to us and joining in with the singing, it showed the staff there that there was more to the man than just physical care. And since then, I believe he's now talking to them all, and they're making sure that they speak with him.
We talk about quality of life, but I think sometimes that's not always so well defined, and I think to live well has got to be about more than eating, drinking, washing and sleeping. We all aim to want more than that in our lives, and I think workshops such as those that Julia coordinates are priceless in giving meaning to someone's day, in a way, and it lifts a heart in a way that cannot be defined in medical terms, and therefore perhaps isn't always counted seriously enough. But I think it is beyond important to have these higher goals in life for people who are otherwise disenfranchised and forgotten.
Singing is something really important. I think it's something that everyone should do, because it helps you to elevate your soul, makes you happy, relax you. It's almost like a therapy. So I think everyone should do it, like you're doing here. So I think the work they're doing is very important.
Well, I was so interested to come and hear such wonderful singing. Diction so perfect, you could understand every word. I could remember some of my old Spanish because of that, and French. It was lovely, and he's doing marvellous work, bringing opera to other people that otherwise wouldn't go. As a tool, yes, I think that it's a very good musical instrument. It doesn't even need a pocket to put it in, does it? I think it's like a notice in my daughter's house. Sing when there's nobody listening, and dance when there's no one watching.
We've done a lot of singing today. I enjoyed it. I love singing, and I'll be singing next week.
Amazing. Was there anything particularly special about today's group that we did?
Well, I enjoyed the opera, and I enjoyed the singing and singing a lot of other songs as well.
They're happy, brought themselves out. You know, because I feel like myself sometimes when I'm alone, really down a little bit, miserable, depressed sort of thing. But coming here, it sort of revitalises you and brings that. So I must do it again. Keep doing it, because it gets me going. It does.
Others, I mean, it is the interaction of just having someone to talk to. Because I've seen here people's aches and pains become a lot more magnified the longer they're left on their own.
And that's the thing with these kind of projects, because you really work together, you get to know each other, you spend quality time together. And then with the funding, it's a real problem, I think, because now the funding has stopped. I mean, it stops, and you can see how much it does to the people. Some of our participants who come from a care home or something, and this would be the only time per week when they actually leave their place, when they go outside, when they see the world, when they go for a little walk and see other people and do something for themselves, And yeah, it's really think it's a really important thing, and it's also really beneficial for the mental health and for social engagement, and it's a tricky thing when it stops, you know?
I am disappointed. I know you shouldn't get reliant on things in this day of funding and things, but to see the way people have come out of their shells and have actively engaged with the group, it's been really, I suppose it's been a challenge to me, because I kind of think, well, it's independent living, people can get on with things, but they have become so, I wouldn't say reliant, but they really, really look forward to the next session, and it builds their confidence. I believe it would be quite difficult for them to, see, they'll get on with life regardless, but it's very difficult because when people's expectations and involvement has developed, having nothing there and not being able to continue it from our own resources, I'd hate people to go back to just sitting indoors, especially those who are housebound.
In an ideal world, of course, it would be lovely to just continue with the people we are having, with new people are coming, to go on more kind of little field trips like we did today. It was such a joy to visit the refugee center, to connect to other people, because it does not matter, as I said before, it doesn't matter if old or young, or white or black, or where somebody's from. It does not matter at all, you know? It was so beautiful to come together, and I felt like instantly, even we did not know all these people, but connections were made just because we enjoyed the music together. So this is really something wonderful, to have more kind of also visits in other places, other care homes. Yeah, to just show the people what we're doing and to get them on board.
Yeah, I just find it's been, as I say, a real adventure sort of with it. And it's a shame that more people don't get access to the kind of facilities that we've been given the opportunity to be involved with, to bring them on. So I think in an ideal world, the pond could be a lot bigger, and that little ripple would gradually touch many, many more people without them even realising.
Thank you, guys.
I saw you high in the apple tree, your smile beaming down. Oh ho, my beau, oh ho, my beau, I hope you'll hang around. Let's dance, we two, by the light of the moon, polka the Milky Way, glide and sway each glorious day, the perfect couple in town. And hand in hand on the silvery strand, in wild woods' filthsome ease, we'll sport and play our lives away, contented as we please.